What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your old buddy Josh with his fresh cut. Yes, sir. Look at that. My wife loves a short haired man, so I accommodate, and she cuts my hair because we like to save money. So, my earlier video I did today, I had hair. Now I have less hair. So much easier to wash. Got the 4-finger comb. Zoops, and done and done. Look at that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, skis. What's going on out there? Did y'all watch any Olympics? The Olympics suck, man. The Olympics suck. It's just a fact. So I didn't watch any Olympics. Actually, my son was watching France playing U.S. in basketball. I watched a little bit of that, but Steph Curry making some threes brought the gold home for the USA. Ted, Dean, Pulverizer, fun guy is here. Andrew, I didn't care. Miguel, Mayorga. All right, Miguel, what's up, dog? But anyway, I didn't. And then I was actually there was a picture of the Serbian national team and the U.S. team. And so when the Serbian national team, when they're playing the Serbian national anthem, they're all like this, very somber, very proud. When they show the U.S., they're all like, just like grabbing their crotch and bleh. It's like, dude, we got Eric Anderson. All right, what's up, Eric Anderson? It was such a good difference between Serbian national team and the U.S. national team. And then you can say, oh, but the U.S. Some guys are saying the reason is because the U.S. players are so used to the national anthem before the game. I don't know, because we had a couple of Serbian players play NBA, and they were still doing like this. You know what I'm saying? That Turkish dude was badass, dude. Same thing happened in France. The Curry got hot again, 100%. I was going for the Serbian team for sure. Absolutely. Same Penelope. Yeah, why would you? I mean, but there's some good people. I mean, I don't want to blame the athletes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some good folks there. They're extraordinarily, freaking praiseworthy. 100%. There's a guy, Aaron Brooks or something like that, from Hagerstown, Maryland, and he guy's freaking righteous. There's some chick, I think she's from New Jersey, and she's righteous as all can be. I was going for Brazil against the U.S. women's team in soccer. So anyway, that didn't work. I just can't stand the U.S. women's soccer. I cannot stand that Megan Rapinoe. Whatever. I know she doesn't play, but I just can't stand it, dude. You've not that I care about soccer. I don't, but soccer is we know soccer is. Soccer is for lady boys, if you know what I'm saying. I hate how U.S. team gloating when their team is so stacked. It's just Jokic on Serbia. No, I think isn't Bogdanovic on Serbia too, who plays the Hawks. So Bogdanovic is on Serbia too. I hate the focus of I don't know. I don't like it, man. Yeah, respect to athletes, not going to support. 100%, 100%. I don't. But I mean, so they got some real good people that are playing in the Olympics. But the facts are, the Olympics suck, dude. They can kiss my big fat behind. And we know the British Olympics, when they're bowing down to the NHS. Very interesting, hey Tom, how they're bowing down to the NHS, and they had stuff about, like, if memory serves, like vaccines and stuff in the British Olympics. I just saw a video of some Canadian chick twerking after yeah. I do this women's soccer. I'll root against them just when they give any accolades to Megan Rapinoe, whatever that stupid chick's name is. I'll root again. I'll root for China. I'll root for Russia, and of course Russia could not compete in the Olympics. How convenient, because Russia's the aggressor. I'm like, wait a second, all these other countries are doing crap stuff, but Russia. Yeah, that was cool, man. That was freaking fantastic. And then the U.S. basketball players are biting the medal too, which is kind of weird. But that was way cool. I don't know if y'all saw that, but you had some Chinese girl. Oh, did you hear about the some Olympic, whatever that Simone Biles is, whatever stupid name is? There's something where she won second place, someone else, American, won first place, and then some chick from Romania got third place. And they're like, oh my goodness, you won and she's all excited. Then the U.S. said, no, we got robbed, and so they had, they took away their medal and gave it to this chick from U.S. And that was with this iconic Simone Biles and whoever, I don't know who this other chick is. I don't know these other people. They're like bowing down in front of them. But it turns out that, no, they took it away from the Romanian for wrong cause because she did not go out of bounds. They just wanted an iconic imagery like they had in the Mexico City Olympics with those guys going like this. They wanted that. They wanted it badly. They wanted it badly. And they couldn't have a Romanian girl, if you know what I'm saying, on there is to have that iconic image. It's so obviously stupid. So they had Simone Biles, whoever won the freaking thing, and the other chick, they're like, ugh, and they had to have that Tommy something who won the Brazil won the gold, Simone was second. I would be afraid to fight the Algerian thing. What I'm saying, interesting. Owen Benjamin made this point. He goes, so if that Algerian's a chick, how come I've never seen her hijab? If that Algerian is a woman, is there any pictures of her in a hijab? I don't think there is. So what's that about, man? What's that about? So we don't have any pictures of the girl in Algeria in the hijab, and when Algiers, in my opinion, is pretty. All right, buddy. All right, you're going. So that, in my opinion, Jordan Childs gave her third, then took it. Gave her third, then took it back. Yeah, that's what it was. So where's the Algerian person? How come she's never wearing a hijab or anything? Very interesting. You'd think you'd have to, right? If you're going to be you think you have to if you're going to be in Algeria. Very interesting, and we never see that. I wonder how many medals Russia would have won if they were able to compete. It's kind of like in tennis. We watch. I don't really watch that much, but my wife. It's just obviously wrong. Makes you wonder makes you question whether actual evil actually exists, even superstitious. I don't get what you're saying. Because evil exists, 100%. But imagine, like, we boycotted the Russians boycott us in the 80s. We boycotted them in 84, whatever it was. In Russia, they're going to boycott their athletes because of a war that was perpetrated by NATO going on to the Russian borders. Now, you can say, hey, you can say all day long, but there's always two sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? And as such, it's like, what? So we're just going to ban? I mean, what's going on in all these other places? I mean, how come it's just the whole thing is just so mind-boggling stupid. And then you can make an argument too. You can make the same argument that why is Israel able to participate? I don't agree with this argument, frankly. I think Russia should be able to participate, but why is Israel able to participate when they're creating havoc in Palestinian territory? You see what I'm saying? Oh, because they got attacked. Okay, well, you can kind of say the same thing about the Russia. I mean, the NATO was approaching their borders, and Russia said we can't have that. Tell us how you. My friend said they should have a normal person participate in the events, so you have to gauge. My friend said they should have a normal person participate in the events, so you have a gauge on how to dominate the athletes. So you have a gauge on how dominant the athletes are. Oh, yeah, right on. Was there men's boxing? I used to love men's boxing in the Olympics. I loved it. Never cared about basketball. Never cared about the balance beam and all that stuff. But men's boxing was always what I liked very much. I'm a big fan. Yeah, God bless her. I'm a big fan, long time, first time. I'll never go there. I'll never move there. Because the thing is, if you move to these foreign countries, at some point they'll start turning on you when things go south. They're like, look, Russia had American spies locked up. China, I'm sure, does too. North Korea. So you might even want to say, hey, I'm going to repatriate, whatever that word is. And they're going to say, yeah. And now things go south. We're going to go after you. That's exactly what happened in this book right here, which I'll share with you, which is not a very cheap book. You have to pay a lot of money for right here. I used to have a guy on my channel right here. Coming Out of the Ice by Victor Herman. All right, so very interesting. This is not a cheap book. And there's my man, Victor Herman. And again, I don't know if any of this is true anymore. I don't know who to believe. So I like to read. So I like to read. It's enjoyable. If it's even halfway true, it's horrible. But the astonishing true story is a tale of a young American man who went to the Soviet Union with his parents by Ford Motor Company to set up an auto plant. He was eventually thrown into the Soviet prisons and could not return to America until 45 years later. During his life in and out of Russian prisons, he met and fell in love with a beautiful lady who followed him into exile and lived with him and basically labor camps in Serbia. And then he escaped from that, and he's living in a cave. Again, who knows if that's true, but he says it. It was 1938 when Victor Herman was inexplicably thrown into prison after he became a celebrity in the Soviet Union, having won acclaim as a Lindbergh of Russia for his flying and world record-breaking parachute jumps. But what happened to him was a common nightmare during the Stalin years. Those who survived imprisonment and torture were sent north to hard labor in the icy forests and mines of Serbia. Victor is one of the few who survived. What kept him alive for 18 years was an overwhelming, unshakable belief in his own invincibility and the desire to return to America to tell his story. After Stalin's death, he was pardoned and allowed to live quietly until he began petitioning to go back to America. Great book. There's a movie too, by the way. I haven't watched the movie, but CBS TV special, Victor Herman. That's one we used to say, that we used to be pro-American in some regard in the movies and everything. Hey, by the way, so a lot of people say, "Oh, the U.S. is going back." So here's our Bank of Zimbabwe, $100 trillion, and people are going to be thinking that's just like America. There's Zimbabwe, all right? I got that $100 trillion. That's literally tender. That's America, man. You got Pablo. You okay, baby? There you go. The difference, of course, between Zimbabwe and the United States is we actually have an economy. So people say, we're going to be like Zimbabwe, or we're going to be like the Iraqi dinar, or we're going to be like the German Deutschmarks, whatever that was. Now, the difference between the yeah, I saw that. I saw what's her name? Susan Wiki just died. Sad, only 56. I'm sure she. I won't say more. Do I have any change for this bill? Yeah. Weimar Republic. Yeah, Weimar Republic. But the U.S. is going to be like that. So remember what happened in Germany, man. I mean, they were slaves under the Versailles Treaty. And so as such, they wanted high inflation to pay off the debts with well devalued Deutschmarks. I don't know if it's Deutschmarks. I can't remember back then. But anyway, and so there was no economy there because they were devastated for a Versailles Treaty for sure. Lung cancer permanently demonetized. Oh my goodness! I can't laugh, but lung cancer. Did she smoke? Was it aggressive cancer? What do they call it? Aggressive cancer or some of that? I call it aggressive cancer, but you know what I'm talking about. Kind of weird. But anyway, so people like, yeah, this is us. I had a YouTube comment. Let's see if I can't. I'm not going to find it. The guy's like, yeah, Josh would be like in Rome saying the Roman government is printing money and nothing's going to happen. I'm on a roll tonight. It's not aggressive cancer. You know what I'm talking about. What they say the. Anyway, so they say, oh, it's the American dollar. It's gonna be Weimar Republic. It's just not. I mean, it could be. I mean, at some point, I'm not God. I don't know. But the idea that we don't have an economy is just freaking nuts. We have a huge economy, the biggest in the world by far. China's not coming close to us. Germany isn't coming close to us. Not anywhere near what is going on. Not anywhere near. So some guy posted what I said about Social Security. If they cut Social Security, your stocks will do great, right? And the guy's like, oh, you'd be like someone saying the Roman Empire, blah, blah, blah. It's all gonna be good. I said no. I mean, at some point, all empires collapse for sure, man. For sure, it's going to collapse at some point. It's inevitable because the world's going to collapse when the second coming of Jesus. I mean, just give me a break. But the idea it's going to collapse in the next 30 years while you're looking at retirement is stupid, man. Oh, we can't handle it. We're all going to die. It'll be Zimbabwe dollars. It's dumb. The idea that between now and 30 years from now, we're going to collapse in a massive Roman. I mean, look, Rome is still out there. I know it's crazy, but there's still a country called Italy where Rome is part of it. It's crazy. They still got the Vatican out there, the whole thing. So Rome didn't just collapse. It's still there. It's not nearly as good as what it was, obviously, but it's still there. So the idea, but I'm 54, between now and when I die, my greater reward, the U.S. dollar will collapse suddenly because of $34 trillion of debt. Dude, they said that at $17 trillion. They said it at $8 trillion. They said it all the time. And yet it hasn't collapsed. Now it hasn't. It hasn't. Coming close to collapse. Not in the least. Not in the least. So nothing lasts forever. Yeah, nothing lasts forever. Um, so I'm just come on. So what? 34 didn't do it. What's 39 is going to do it? I always ask these guys, tell me when that time is. Well, we don't know. It's kind of like the climate change people. There's a new climate change study that says in 10 years the Arctic could be ice free. Oh, never heard that before. That's whoa, really? Never heard that one. And the same thing with these freaking doomsdayers. Oh, the U.S. economy is going to collapse. So the dollar won't be worth crap. I'm like, it's weird because apparently that's not happening. The dollar is still the most valued. I mean, the euro's worth a little bit more than us, but on that, basically, we're the only game in town. We can buy a hell of a lot more Canadian dollars than they can buy of ours. A hell of a lot more Chinese, hell of a lot more Japan, and Japan just had a pretty big surge in their yen too. So, yeah, exactly. Thank goodness. Well, you wouldn't be in the Arctic anyway, but yeah, I've never heard that before. Um, anyway, so I just sit there. I'm thinking, what? People like, oh, we're spending so much. Then don't spend it, man. I mean, my goodness. I mean, look again. I'm not sitting there saying just keep spending, spending, spending. I am just sitting there saying, at the end of the day, it didn't collapse when we went 100% debt to GDP, and it was like, oh, 100% debt to GDP, it's over. I'm like, these are just arbitrary numbers. Yeah, no, I think AOC. I think we're done now. I think because I think AOC was saying by 2025 or something like that would be done. The percentage of debt to GDP is lower now. But the interesting thing there, Celtic Spirit, is that the debt to GDP in the 70s was like 30%. All right, so this is the 70s. The debt to GDP was 30%. Now the debt to GDP is like 120. What is a better economy? The 70. Oh, and people, I get it. People say, well, I could buy a house. The better economy, you can buy a house now. There's plenty of houses out there under $300,000. Plenty of houses. Might not be exactly what you want. Welcome to the club. Sometimes we have to sacrifice a little bit to get what we want. Sometimes we have to sacrifice a little bit to get ultimately what we want. None of us were born into a 5-bedroom, 4-bath house. It didn't happen like that. At some point, unless you had money given to you from your parents or something like that, most people had to get a starter house. Like we had to get one in Dayton, Virginia. It wasn't a big city, had a job, wasn't a high paying job, but we start someplace. And most people got to do the same. But I want that 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 1-acre house with a pool in the best school district. Sorry, you're not going to get it for $275,000. You're going to get, yeah, I saw that. How about your gal, Teresa, blaming the policies for that couple of, that's crazy, man. Yeah, she never wants to blame it because, like some guy said, they just want to say, ultimately, no one can manage this themselves. Let us take over. That's what they want. 100%. That's exactly right. Middle America, where prices seems reasonable. And then the funny thing is, what they'll say is, well, there's no jobs there. If you want to get the right, I guarantee you can be a nurse, you can be an electrician, you can be a plumber. I guarantee you can find a job if you do these things. Guarantee. Well, but my graphic design is what I trained for. Yeah. Well, so did the Okies in Oklahoma train to be farmers. And guess what? In 1930s, because of the massive heat wave that hit America for a decade, well worse than it is now, they had to go to California. Shocking. You know why? Because you have to move where you can freaking survive. Yeah, right here. Remember my dance. Single wide trailer. Good times. Exactly. And you wouldn't trade it for the world, man. You wouldn't trade it for the world. I just, the whole thing is just, I get so sick of the whine. Ooh, okay, boomer. Oh my goodness. And the problem is, unfortunately, a lot of these people, they were raised pretty well. They were raised in pretty affluent families, like my kids, upper affluent, you know what I'm saying? Nice, leafy suburbia. And they're just like, what, I got to start lower than what I had when I was a kid. Yeah, you do. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Oh, that's how it works. If you don't gripe about you can't afford a house because you want to be a freaking a newspaper, a journalist, or you want to be an art major or something like that. If you want to be able to afford a house, you got to move to where the houses are affordable and find labor that you can do that make it affordable, which is something that you might not have thought about doing. But guess what? You should do it because the trades are hiring like crazy. And when I say I follow the Maine Maritime Academy on Facebook, and they're like, please, we'll train you for free to learn basic whatever the boat, the merchant marines do. We'll train you for free to learn this stuff. You see what I'm saying? No, I don't want to do it. I want to be a journalist because I want to make a difference in the world. And then I want to gripe how I can't afford anything. I've been learning CAD software. And yeah, right here. Look at. I've been learning CAD software. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to learn. Oh, you want to retire and build race cars? Ooh, that sounds interesting. Look at Ted. You can stay up there, Ted. I don't know if you can say it, but do they know that you're going to retire in age 16? I mean, because you got your name on here. You got your name on there. But it's not even the coast. The crazy thing is, Cal, is the coastal elites who think they're elite. They're just these paper pushers, just these little journalists or, graphic designers and art majors and stuff in DC, New York and stuff. The fashion industry. And they're like, oh, I can't afford a house. Well, go learn a skill. Well, I don't want to. Then don't cry about can't afford. I don't have that sympathy. I just don't. No one like my man Dan. He came up for a single wide trailer knowing what we had, Charlotte and me, I'm like, I don't have sympathy. When I know for a fact, if you get out of most of these urban areas, you can find houses. Oh, you might have to commute. Okay, well, join the club, dude. You got people up there in Dawsonville, Georgia, commuting down to Atlanta. I wouldn't do it, but if that was a way to get a house in a halfway decent school district, I'm doing it. Sucks, but welcome to the club. But I don't want to do that, Josh. Yeah, Ted's crushing. Poyer has treated me like a king the last week. 3 parties already, 2 next week. Right on, man. Are you staying up there in Maine, Ted, or where are you going to go? Are you going to go back to Ohio? 4 dead in Ohio. Oh, my goodness. My dip crap nephew, I got to be careful what I say on YouTube, wants to be a food truck entrepreneur. A food truck? I could have gotten him into the laborers union, and he scoffed like he was above it. Food truck? Man. Well, some of those guys do all right. Yeah, I get that. I can see that. Some of those guys do all right. At least he's not trying to, start a nonprofit. I want to start a nonprofit where we feed the without what they call not the homeless anymore, the unhoused. I want to start a nonprofit where we feed the unhoused. And it's not fair that I don't have enough money to, get my sleeve tattoos, my brand new phone, and I want to drive a Subaru to show everybody that I'm 57 flavors. It's not fair. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. Yeah, right here is Denise. A lot can be said for living below our means too. Denise spells our wrong. Hee. Those Wisconsins, they don't know how to spell. A lot can be said for living below our means too to create margin and eventually afford to upgrade 100% Denise. Apply to Ohio in a year or two. Right on, Ted. You got a lady friend there in Ohio, or you got a guy friend. I really don't care. I literally don't care what you got. I just don't want to promote it all over the place like it's regular. Started 1-bedroom apartment now, 3-2 house, and come 100%, Dean, absolutely. Yeah, those. No, it wasn't Denise. You spelled our HOUR. We saw it. We got the proof here, Denise. We got the proof. Easy on those Subarus. Oh man, that's funny, Marie. Easy on the Subarus. Look, I've heard. Oh, now Denise is trying to say, I want to spell your. Nope. Busted, Denise. What did Denise say here? Let's see. A lot can be said for living below your means too. Okay. All right, gotcha. But then she's going to blame autocorrect. Yeah, Denise, I tell you. Your means too. Actually, one time what was it? Your Wi-Fi. Yeah, I said, man, my Wi-Fi isn't working, and you autocorrect like wife isn't working. I can't remember what it was. I was like, ooh, that wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember what it was, but it's funny. Don't take any crap, Denise. Yeah, hell no. Look at Penelope. Uh-oh. Penelope's gonna round up the ladies and boycott me. Hey. There you go. Oh, by the way, Tom, you'll appreciate this. I love the ladies here, by the way. Marie, Denise, Penelope, Angie, the folks who come on board, regular basis. I appreciate you all for sure. The Subaru finally fixed those head gasket problems. I don't know, man. That's crazy. Here's Elliot Ring. All right. Hoping to sell my business soon and start the retirement dream. Wife, you've been retired. All right, right on, dude. Tell us what your business is, brother, if you want. Every hipster wants to start off a coffee shop or a brew pub. How many of these do we really need? And then they get mad. It's not fair. The Subaru started in a 2-bedroom apartment, now retired, and have 3 houses, a home with 2 acre cottages, all free. What are metrics to be crushing? Just being here. If you're here, you're crushing. 100%. Yeah, look at Vern, dude. Vern Forrester put 320. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I heard Subarus are pretty reliable. About outback. Yeah, Subarus rule. Yeah, 100%. And Vern isn't GAY either, so I don't think he is. So there's a guy who's straight who's attributing to Subarus how awesome they are. And here's Marie, and she's not GAY, and she loves her Subarus too. See, oh, right on, man. All right, cool. You're gonna find a buyer for that practice or what? Hey, Jeff Rains! Holy crap, dude! Haven't seen Jeff for a while. What's up, Jeff? Welcome back, man. Where you been, brother? Look at Jeff crushing. Ladies, look at Jeff. He's showing off his muscles. One guy's 37. That's crazy. I'm around that range. You're only that age too. You're only about 37. Damn. Julie fondled. Financially crushing, Miguel, is probably not having any debt, and that's not me yet. So I think at the end of the day, if you don't have debt, and we'll get the tax thing here in just a second. For those who say, "Oh, he's going to talk about taxes," put a shirt on, Jeff. Yeah, right on, Jeff. So Marie's mechanic says, "Don't buy between 2020 and 2022 to go." Oh, interesting. Man, Lola at you. You're 31. Damn, you guys are youngsters. Anyway, so Miguel, if you don't have debt, you're financially crushing. I mean, just because the issue is that debt is a albatross around your neck because you have to pay it off, and that means you have to generate income in which to pay it off, and most of the times the income you generate will be taxable as well. So not having debt is I tell you, man, like going back to what Brad Kay said, following the Dave Ramsey method. Dave Ramsey is a force for good. Like I take issue on his silliness on reverse mortgages and whole life insurance, but in the overall scheme of things, Dave Ramsey is 100% a force for good. That's just a fact. So, and because he's telling people not to pay off debt, and I've done videos. I said Dave Ramsey. What did I say? I said Dave Ramsey. Just without question, saying, "Hey, what a great." I had a video. Dave Ramsey saves capitalism or something like that. I can't remember what it was. This is a long time ago because it's like to pay off debt is the biggest way to be financially crushing because you're just like, I was talking. Well, actually, the guy I'm going to show you here in just a second. I'm going to show you this guy. We'll call him Johnny. We'll call him Johnny. And I'll show you Johnny and his wife, Jenny. Johnny and Jenny, I'll show you. It's amazing what happened. Because I said, how did you, they're my age. You know what I'm saying? I said, how'd you get there? A little bit, roughly mid 50s, something like that. So how did you get there? He goes, man, we just been saving. And we paid off our house 10 years ago. And then we just been piling. I tell you, man, this is, once the house is paid off, all that money you were using towards your mortgage is now free to do other things with. This is like the snowball effect in perfect, whatever metaphor. I don't know what the word is, but anyway, so you're spending $3,000 a month on a mortgage, $36,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take you, $45,000 of income to generate that $36,000 a year or whatever. And so once that mortgage is paid off, you don't need that $45,000 in which to generate the $36,000 to pay off your mortgage. But even if you do have it, because of property, FICA taxes and income tax, and whatnot, well, now that $36,000 is no longer going over here to pay back a debt; it's going over here to grow. And just every month you're saying, okay, $3,000, $3,000, $3,000. What was nominally a $500 a month, a 401k contribution plus we'll say $500 match has now been increased threefold because now you're increasing that with the mortgage that you were paying before, and you just grow and grow and grow. It's crazy, man. Yeah, right on, Kirk. Dude, we got a neighbor across the street who does mosquito things for us. We pay him like $40. He comes out like twice a month or something like that in the summertime. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Denise. That's a good. Caress that like button. 100%. 100%. Yeah. So, and basically me too, Miguel. I mean, but I have more house debt than I want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got tons of equity. Hell, this house, catty corner me just sold. And I was like, how that for crazy to me how much money people have to pay for these homes. I'm like, if they don't have cash, those mortgages are through the freaking roof. And I was like, so I got tons of equity, but I still got a mortgage. I hate it with a passion. Not easy to sell, but may have. Yeah, I can't imagine a CPA firm would be easy sell because it's very specific, and there's definitely a we don't have enough CPAs as it is, and a lot of people. And then are you going to retain the clients? I bet that'd be a tough one to sell to for sure. But you're going to do early fire. All right. I hate that 1%, man. Yeah, this topic, yeah, I can't read more. Hey, my man Josh is back. Yeah, right here. How do I get back to 100K I've lost because dude, Josh is, man, look, my man. So here's my lobsterman up in Maine crushing. Dude, this is a huge problem. Huge. I don't think people recognize the extent of the problem that we have of a lack of employees. This scares me more than anything. Not the stupid stock market, getting rid of Social Security. Is the lack of people labor. The lack of it's nuts to me. So they basically train, I don't want to say it, some group of people to be, I want to be a hip hop star, or I want to be an athlete. Well, the athlete's fine, but then he's playing all his time being an athlete. I want to be a hip hop star. Very, very few people are going to be a professional athlete or a hip hop star. So that group of people is just learning bad things because there are evil people out there in charge. Then you got other groups of people who think I have to go to college and get a degree and learn freaking to move paper back and forth. You know what I'm saying? To be a paper pusher. Whites, essentially. Whites have been told for years, you got to go to college to get a degree. That's where you can make money and have a good career. And those days are just not true anymore. You can remember they used to say learn to code. Well, those days are gone. It wasn't that long ago. West Virginia coal miners learn to code. Yeah, that doesn't do crap anymore. You see what I'm saying? And so, but whites have been told. So blacks been told to go this route. Whites been told to go that route, and both are freaking evil. And so whites, like they don't even know they don't have just a capacity to do any manual labor. I mean, there are some, don't get me wrong, that are, and mostly aren't in urban areas. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, look, I was just working my book at Dunkin' Donuts, and they got guys out there, not all Spanish, but basically all Spanish, doing freaking road work and stuff on a Saturday. It's 94 degrees out. They did have a utility lineman up there, a couple of utility linemen. They were white. But I mean, these are all Spanish guys, all of them, every single one of them. I was like, this is bad. And we can argue all day long what caused that. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. And more power to those guys for working. But here's my man Josh, who's like, dude, I got to get some lobsters. We got to get lobsters. I'm willing to pay. There's no one doing it. It's crazy to me. And oh, it must be nice. You have a job at YouTube. I didn't always have a job at YouTube. I was in the infantry. I've done 1,000 different jobs out there. I just talked to my kids the other day. It's like, Dad, how many jobs have you had? I've tried everything. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I just happened to find this and be relatively successful. I didn't know, though. I told myself, hell, I'll go change tires at Walmart if I have to. If this doesn't work, I don't care. I don't want to do that. But if I had to, I will. And a lot of these people, they look at Soapy. Retired, 57, worked for our church, babysitting the grandkids, 100%. And you're bad in plaid. Bad in plaid. And that, yeah, cash flow explodes once the mortgage is paid off, 100%. But we just don't have the labor. I don't know. And people, we can gripe all day long about immigration. Who's going to, I think I shared this story with you before, but checking out at Publix last week. And there's a somewhat somber black girl named, I forgot her name, Ashley or Gabby, I can't remember. And I thought she just had an attitude. And so I always like to smile, say, how you doing? And I would see their name tag, say, how you doing, Ashley? She goes, fine. And I said, so you getting ready to go back to school? She goes, no. I said, oh, and I could tell she had an accent. And this other guy was working right there. I said, so what, did you already graduate? She goes, no, I just moved here. I said, oh, where'd you move from? She goes, Sierra Leone. I said, oh. I said, how long have you been here? She goes, 3 months. I said, okay. So I said, you speak English pretty good, a little bit of accent. She goes, yeah, they teach us English in Sierra Leone. I said, okay, gotcha. Anyway, so we just chatted for a couple seconds while she was ringing me up. And a younger lady, I said, well, actually, we're glad to have you. Thanks for being here. She goes, thank you. And then she smiled and gave me, say, have a good day, sir. And I was like, just a little bit of a smile, but she seemed kind of somber and, not, but I think she's just shy, to be perfectly honest with you. She's in a new country, you know what I'm saying? Never seen white people, I'm sure. But here she is at Publix, ringing people up, and Publix isn't hiring illegal immigrants. And as such, that's a job that's, who's filling that job? I mean, who's literally filling that job other than Ashley? There are places that there'd be, Americans, American-born citizens doing that, but a lot of these places not. So and that's just a lady at Publix ringing people up. How about Josh? He needs someone to pull up those lobster shell shacks. It's a tough gig. Can a nice state government pension work in lieu of hoarding cash in case you're retired? Oh yeah, absolutely, man. 100%. Guaranteed income, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Dave Ramsey, pay off debt, great. Financial advice, terrible. Yeah, if you got it's guaranteed cash. Remember the whole point about the bear market is we don't want to have to sell. That's the issue. If we can avoid selling on a bear market, you're going to be pretty good. If that means you have guaranteed income from a pension, and more power to you. Here's Marie. Trying to find things to buy. I can't buy expensive Yeti coolers and mugs, but I love the looks of them. How many Stanley Cups you have, Marie? Are you familiar with the Stanley Cups thing? Right here. All right. So let me. Cool. I don't know what they do for the mosquitoes, Ron. I don't think it works all that. We know the guy. We know the kid. We know his family, so we just hire him for that. I don't think I get bit all the time. Yeah, I think there is a slowdown in the real estate market. But that's why I was shocked when this house. I said, man, that's going for more than any of the other houses that have sold recently, and it doesn't have a pool. I was like, what the hell? All right, so let's FU money is the best. 100%. Yeah, and with disposable income to invest, you'll be able to buy a house at some point. Avoid Dunkin'. They did too. As an Asian person, your parents only let you pick doctor. Yeah, I wish I could have been a baller rapper. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I completely agree. College was pushed to inflate administrative bloat at universities, and Wall Street found they could make money from student loan. 100%, dude. It's such a friggin'. Look at Hugh, debt free. Hugh's crushing. Kids really need to consider trade school in lieu of college. Creates better job security, great income stream, and graduate without that. Yeah, and you can do that for like 20 years or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. There's not unionized. I get all that, but you can do that for 20 years, make a bunch of money, man. And there's actually an article in the Wall Street Journal, a guy who's cleaning. I saw Andrew talk about boilers. He's not cleaning. Maybe he is cleaning boilers. I forgot, but he's cleaning. And he's making 175 a year. He's cleaning something like that. I didn't know that. Oh God, they wanted Rumble to jettison some. Yeah, good question. The Asians have to support the folks. Yeah, that's crazy. Yep, family response. See that, but that's crushing. My parents are still mostly but we should support your parents, man. Well, it must be easier for you to say you don't support your mom. Yeah, well, we got my mom's okay. You know what I'm saying? Support my. We got issues in that regard. Another Mainer, been retired now for 3 years, pushed to 72, and still getting desperate calls asking me to come back to work. I do occasionally miss the game. 100%, man. Yeah, 100%. All right, so let me. I will have to Josh's advice. Well, send me a super chat then, Hugh. There's super chat. You can. I won't be mad at you. You don't have to. I'm goofing you, but yeah. All right, I'm just going through Brian. Forget trade school, get an apprenticeship program. Interesting. Here we go. All universe. Mike Rowe and Victor Davis Hanson regarding the growing divide between cultural elites and people with trade skills. Yeah, I think Charles Murray, the evil Charles Murray, the bell curve, had written a book on that. Basically, basically talking about how white families are now being destroyed, just like the urban black family from the past. And it's not that, it was probably 10, 15 years ago. And of course, Charles Murray's so evil, no one talked about it other than in, a place that you're not supposed to go to. But Charles Murray had written a book on that. I forgot what it's called, but he's like basically saying, look, white America is disintegrating just like the black America did. And it's going to be bad. All right. So I want to share with you this. Let me set up the thing here. So I'm working with this couple, what I call Johnny and Jenny, right? And mid 50s or so. And Johnny, he had about 1.2 million in a brokerage account, basically all in Berkshire and some other non-capital gain, non-dividend stocks. anyway, he's got but and I said, how'd you get that? And I'm thinking, I don't know how he got it because he's not that much older than me. And he said, I once I paid my mortgage, I was just able to plug, just freaking just putting money in and money in and money in. And the market helped too. Obviously, the market's growing very, very well. But anyway, he said, okay, so so he's got 1.2 million in a brokerage account. He's got a million in a IRA too. So this guy, he's they're high performers. He and his wife, no kids, which is helpful, I grant you, but they're not living high on the hog. They drive older vehicles. The same old story. No pensions or anything like that. I'm not going to tell you what line of work or anything. But just good, salt of the earth people who've squirreled away a lot of money. They've been married for a long time, and just they got their debt paid off. Anyway, so we're sitting there thinking mid-50s, and he's like, man, I don't have any pension or anything like that. So my concern is I would like to be as tax strategy whatever as possible. So we have three things we're contemplating with this guy, Johnny and Jenny. He can take capital gains because he has about, he's got 1.2 million, about 600,000 capital gains, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. He could take capital gains up to the extent of his 12% tax bracket, tax free. All right, so I'll show you what I'm talking about, how much money he needs there in just a second. But he's thinking I could take my capital gains tax free up to the extent of my 12% tax bracket and live off my principal on top of it. So he'll basically have $150,000 of income to spend, all tax free. All right, that's true. He could do that 100%. That defers his IRA though, so at some point he's going to get hammered with the RMDs. Now he can't touch his IRA because he's under the age of 59 and a half, obviously. So we're not touching the IRA for spending. So that's one thing we could do. Just live off his long-term capital gains, sell enough to get at the top 12% tax bracket, and it'll be tax-free. Not a bad strategy at all. Part two, though, is also Obamacare. He's going to go on Obamacare. So I'm thinking, well, if you do that, you're going to lose your Obamacare premium credits. In the state, in the county he lives, he has PPOs. So I'm like, well, if we do that much, we're going to lose the Obamacare premium credits, and those are worth $1,000 a month or so, depending on your circumstance. In this case, about $1,000 a month or so. So that's $12,000 a year. If we extrapolate that over basically 10 years until you're on Medicare, and that's $120,000 of premium tax credits, assuming they still exist. Because who knows when Kamala wins? Because there's no way Trump's winning, dude. I mean, they're all going to come on. I mean, you've seen these polls now. Trump's down 50 to 46. He was down 50 to 46 in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. 3 states are all identical at 50 to 46. Okay. But I don't see how Trump, I don't think it's going to, I mean, I hope he does. I'm voting and stuff, but I don't, they're going to do what they got to do. Let's just put that. Anyway, so who knows what the tax law Kamala is going to put on? I don't know. But I don't think that they're going to, I think at some point, Obamacare premium credits are going to be based on net worth, not income. But it could be wrong. If I can have a person on the boat that can haul 350 traps a day, I pay 250 minimum, as much as 400 depending on catch. It's funny you said that, Josh. I went to my friend's house from high school, and I was actually thinking about you in Virginia, and he does crabs, and he's not a professional, but he has 10 crab traps out there. And he is funny because we're pulling some up to get some crabs. That's hard work. It's hard work. Now, obviously, you develop a skin for that at some point, but I went out with him, I think I pulled up 6 crab traps, and you had this, I don't know what you do for you with your buoys, but you had this thing like a hook. You grab on the rope, you got to kind of twirl it, you pull up the rope, and then you grab, and it's getting all muddy and stuff because it's on the bottom. Then you pull the trap up there, and it's obviously not nearly as efficient as yours, because you also that's when you do it by hand. There's also a way you can do it by mechanical. I think it's I was getting ready to say pulverize. That's all I'm trying to talk about. I think it's an air thing. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, he's got a way you can do it mechanically too. Because he said if you're doing it just 5 or 10 a day, you can do it by hand. But if you're doing it mechanically, you got to, what I'm talking about, man. The freaking thing with the air, like an air, whatever that's called. Damn, I lose it. Anyway, so the point being is that I don't think Trump's going to win, because I just don't think I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him away. That includes the Republican Party by and large. Anyway, so the point being is what's going to happen is we don't know. But in this case, the Obama, I'm going to turn my fan on. With the hydraulics, that's it. Hydraulics, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, hydraulics. Dude, I am getting. Do you all forget words? Like I forget words. Like I couldn't remember a freaking barn the other day. I was talking to this guy who lives in Germany. I was telling him about my German experience when I was in Reforger. I was like, we had to go to a place where the cows are. Cows, a freaking house for cows. He goes, a barn? I say, a barn. I said, dude, y'all forget words sometimes? It kind of scares me, to be honest with you. I don't have any history of dementia, Alzheimer's, or anything like that. But, I did smoke a lot of weed in the younger days. That certainly isn't good. By the way, I don't care what they say. Smoking a lot of weed is bad for you, man. I don't care what anybody says. You talk to some of these potheads, it's legal. It's okay. It's not cocaine. I'm like, yeah, but your mind just isn't there. It's gone, dude. Like Tom and I, you forget a lot of words. Tom, like that guy on freaking YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. That guy Jason. It's like that guy does psychedelics, and he's like, it doesn't make any sense. This is a guy I used to be in the army with. He just connected me on Facebook, and I'm like, he doesn't make any sense, dude. You don't make sense. You know what I'm talking about, Tom? That guy's like, I was like, he's talking all of a sudden. He says, yeah, next thing you know, you think the moon landing's fake. We're talking about, Tom's like, that's Josh. All right. Too much of anything is bad. Hey, thanks. Oh, dude, come on, man. Come on, dude. You're not a chick. I forget. Okay, good. I forget names all the time. Call it Carl. Oh, we're so fancy now. Yeah, right. Oh, la-di-da French with the garage. Oh, man. Look at Celtic Spirit trying to get with me. I'm like, dude, I'm already taken. Celtic Spirit's like, well, I thought you meant to fondle. I did fondle. I followed more. Like, trying to get with me. I'm like, dude. Yeah, it is very embarrassing, especially if you're doing this right here. The Celtic Spirit's like, but Josh, I'm Irish and you're kind of Irish, so maybe we can make Irish have babies. It is tough to carry this conversation. So, hey, hey, Jill. All right, Jill's back finally. Jill's been missing my live streams lately. Really getting on my nerves. Tell sure I like the haircut too. Thanks. All right. Yeah. Oh, that's what happened in Maine, Brad. So Maine, the Chinese were taking over their the dope in Maine, like the marijuana plant. The Chinese are coming there and taking over. I just got to chuckle. I don't chuckle. I hate to see Americans lose their jobs, but come on, man. That's still is it a narcotic? Maybe not a narcotic, but still not good for it. All right. So anyway, going back to this case. All right. So we're sitting there thinking, all right. So this guy can take 120,000, basically maybe 130,000 of long-term capital gains tax-free for the next. It's basically until his brokerage account's exhausted. We're just going to say 10 years. So we'll just say $130,000 minus 15%. That'd give him $11,000. $130,000 minus 15%. Oh, man, hold a second. Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. That'd be about $20,000 of capital gains tax free. So he'd lose $12,000 in Obamacare premium credits, probably more than that, to gain $20,000 tax free of long term capital gains. Oh, speaking of my man Tom again, Tom's the guy who told me to look out for sales on ribeyes. We had standing roast ribeyes, standing rib roast today on Publix for $10.49. I almost bought some sirloin, but I said, "Ooh, they got standing rib roast on sale." So we cooked those up today, $10.49. All right. So anyway, so now we're sitting there thinking, okay, so your 120 of capital gains would save you basically $20,000 a year, give or take, if you could get it in the 12% tax bracket. But you'd lose your Obamacare. All right. Yeah, we're just always BSing, Jill. We're not missing anything. You'll lose your Obamacare premium credits. So you sacrifice $12,000, maybe $15,000 to get $20,000 tax free. That doesn't sound like a bad deal, but it's not all that dramatic. I'm like, I don't know, man. Especially because we're MediShare, right on. The usual mayhem. MediShare, that's one thing too. But MediShare, his wife has some issues, pre-existing conditions, and as much as I love MediShare, they're very explicit about pre-existing conditions. So that's not really a win for us here. I just talked to a guy the other day who's going on MediShare. He's freaking healthy as an ox. He's 60 years old. The dude's just a freaking stud. This guy's like, damn, dude. I was like, You know what I'm saying? The guy's a stud. So yeah, he's going meta share. Anyway, so I'm like, well, that doesn't have a huge appeal. I mean, I like it, but so we got to decide if we should do live off dividends or capital gains tax free, and still be on Obamacare, but we're going to lose our Obamacare premiums. And then I threw out a third thing, which I want to share with you here. Is I said, what if we did Roth conversions? What if we did? Hey, babe, everyone's saying my haircut looks good, so thank you. And guys are saying it too, which is kind of creepy. She didn't take kindly to guys hitting on me. She's like, hell no. Anyway, so I'm sitting here thinking, my wife of 49 years complains about my memory. I usually, that's funny. Yeah, see, I hate that no tax on tips thing. That's just so stupid. I don't like when, whatever. I get it, but I get it. That's not a bad, political strategy. I just like, come on. All right. So anyway, going back now. So then I said, what if we did Roth conversions? All right. So we're going to bring up this here right quick. So we're going to bring up my chart and I'm going to show you. All right. Share screen, I think. Share this guy here. Right there. Share. All right. So here, we're not doing any Roth conversions. You can see he's 54, 56. So yeah, mid 50s. He's going to work a part-time job because he's in high demand labor. Shocking, right? So they're spending about $150,000 a year. They got no debt whatsoever. They want to do some travel. They're going to buy a car here. They're buying a travel van right there. They're buying a car right there. Buying another car. So they're going to buy a new car every 7 years. I don't want to get into comments about what they're doing with their mind. It doesn't matter. It's none of your business, none of my business. That's what they want to do. I don't care. So why are you buying a car every 7 years? That's what they want to do. And that's fine because they got the money to do it. All right. So what's up? So what's happening here is we're not doing any Roth conversions. We're pulling $91,000 a year out of his brokerage account, and he will pay no income tax on that or capital gains tax because he's still in the 120, the 12% tax bracket, right? He's still got to pay tax on this. He's still got to pay FICA tax. But what happens is when he stops working, right now, for some reason, what I hate about Right Capital is they make you take your HSA out. I wish they would not do that. That's planned distributions is HSA distributions. But anyway, so when he stops, no more part-time gig. He's got no income coming in. He's got a goal of travel, goal of buying a travel van. All right, so he got no kids. All right, no debt, no kids. Made a lot of money and done really good work. I mean, he's just been keeping his head down, crushing. So he's got $74,000 homeowners insurance, $2,000 a month, and just day to day. He's got utility bills and all this. He's got all that in here. Then he wants to travel. They want to travel like freaking drunken sailors, and they want to get a travel van. Now, if you're going to do this so much, this will probably reduce because you're probably not taking it so much. You're not going to be spending so much at your regular house because you're on the road. But it doesn't matter. We're using this. So he's got $221,000 here of outflows. So he needs about $221,000. All right. So if he's doing it from his brokerage account, the bulk of his stuff will be tax-free capital gain because he's going to be still in the 12% tax bracket. I hope you guys are following this so far. So even though it says he needs $200,000 from his account, that $200,000 can be pre-tax long-term capital gain, can be pre-tax in terms of IRA distribution. In this case, it won't be, but IRA distribution. It could be return of principal. You have a bank account. If you just took $200,000 of cash from your savings account, that's tax-free. So this isn't saying where the money comes from. It's just saying you need $200,000 from where is it going to come. In this case, he's selling up to 12% of his capital gain, right? So he doesn't have hardly any taxes, but he's still got some because he's got some. He needs $200,000, but the bulk of his money would be tax-free. So we can see right here, $8,400 on $220,000 of outflow. So $8,400 divided by 220. That's an effective tax rate of 4%. You can't shake a stick at that. Effective tax rate of 4%. So everybody with me so far. So this is where. So I just want to reiterate what we're doing here is we're just using his brokerage account to the extent of the 12% tax bracket. And then we're going to go above that to some regard. But we're paying hardly anything in tax because we're selling our long-term capital gains at basically almost tax-free. Not a bad strategy on the front end. On the front end. Now we're going to lose our Obamacare premium credit, so we're going to pay the full brunt of Obamacare, which has already been budgeted, by the way. Not a bad strategy, all right? But watch what happens, as you're probably well aware. Watch what's going to happen in the future. So now you can see he's not paying much in taxes. Look at this, because he's living off his brokerage account. But once that brokerage account is exhausted, now he's got RMDs. All right. He's got Social Security, because he and his wife both made the max for Social Security. All right. Now they're not making $400,000 a year, but they both made the max for Social Security. So, this is in 25 years from now. So he's going to get, she's getting $50,000 a year, and he's getting, I want to say, a little bit more than that. I can't remember what it was, but this is 25 years now, inflated at 2.4%. So they're going to get $193,000 from Social. $135,000 from planned distributions. That's your RMDs right here. Your RMDs, required minimum distributions. $329,000 of income, but their expenses only $142 because they're no longer taking these vacation goals. No longer taking these vacation goals. So I got $329 of total income and $52,000 in taxes. All right. So 52 divided by 329. That's still only a 16% effective tax rate. Not that bad. But watch what happens later. Now, when he's dead, this is when his Jenny survives him. Now her taxes go to 91, 87, and 86. It goes significantly higher. So you can see right here, she got 86,000 of taxes on 331. 86 divided by 331. So that's a 26% effective tax rate. So now she's just getting swamped. She's getting swamped. And so to have these low taxes just means we're deferring it to have higher taxes in the future. Let me just show you what it looks like here so here we are right here. Their state tax rate, that seems actually high to me, but be it as it may, is right here. No, hardly any federal tax rate whatsoever until right here when they're on Social Security and they take required distributions. Now they're going to be punished here. So we're saying, okay. I said, well, I wonder if there's a better strategy. Again, the idea is we can take the long-term capital gain tax-free until the brokerage account is exhausted, but we're just delaying the inevitable of higher taxes. You eat bugs and love it. Yeah, right on. Absolutely. And Marsh in the house. Right on, man. Marsh, look at Marsh. Marsh is crushing. I don't care what the ladies say. Because the ladies say he is crushing. That's what they say, Marsh. They say, look at Marsh. Happy guy right there. He said, ladies, it's me, Marsh. All the ladies are getting out of here right now. Jill's gone. Penelope's gone. Marie's gone. Marsh, you drove him away. Just goofing on you. All right, so we're sitting there thinking, not because it's a good question, Iric, if that's how you say your name. What kind of name is Iric? That's Anderson. What, Swedish? Is that a Swedish name? The brokerage account, I'm giving him 5.8%, Andrew. 5.8%. Maybe I can compliment Marsh's haircut too. Paul Price says, thanks for driving away the ladies. Carl would say, where's Carl? Pooping while standing. Carl would be on here saying, thanks. I'm glad you drove away the ladies, Marsh. Because Carl's like, I think the pandemic lockdowns involved behavior modification, have people stay at home in order. I completely agree. So now we're going to talk about that. So we're sitting there thinking, so if he doesn't do Roth conversions, he'll end up paying about $1.1 million in taxes between Johnny and Jenny over the course of their lives. All right. Now, again, we don't know exactly because we don't know what the return is going to be. They don't have any carry forward losses, though. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have any carry forward. So everything is basically, let's talk Iron Maiden. The 60-40, yes. No, they're all stocks. They're all stocks, Andrew. All stocks. He's very aggressive, and we've had a good discussion about this. He goes, I'm okay with it. He goes, basically, I came from nothing. I can go back to nothing for 50% market decline. But the facts are, he's got quite a bit of money. He's like, 50% market decline. I won't take those $60,000 vacations. I'm good. There's Marie. Marie's still here. Right on. All right. Phew. Jenny needs to remarry. Why Denise? Why does Jenny need to remarry? I don't get it. When she's when Johnny dies. All right, so the premise again is we could live off the capital gains, basically tax free, but then we're going to get hammered later on at some point because we've been deferring the IRA. We can live off the brokerage account basically return of principal by doing LIFO, essentially, last in, first out. And Schwab allows you to sell your highest cost basis. They're all at Schwab. So Schwab allows you to sell your highest cost basis, your highest cost basis. That's the word I'm looking for. Positions, right? So he's got a bunch of Berkshire. He's got a bunch of individual ETFs that he's been buying over time. He's been dollar cost averaging. So Schwab allows you to sell your highest cost basis. If he were to do that, then he would qualify for the Obamacare premiums credits and whatnot. I hope that makes sense. So that's our two strategies. But let me show you what stock loss, 100%. Yep, round loss, stock loss. Not doing buckets. We talked about that. Josh has more hair. Less brains, but more hair. But he's not doing buckets. He likes being stocks. And his reasoning is right. He's like, look, man, I got Social Security coming in hot in about 15 years. I mean, he's got some cash. So he's not all stocks. He has, he runs, some 6-month treasury bills. He's basically got 2 years of liquidity, if that makes sense. So, yeah, right on, Denise. Absolutely. No, we're not getting 5. No, 5.8 is all stocks in this scenario. All stocks. No, they have no loss carry forwards. They never took any losses. They just been plugging stocks. He's got a little bit of cash, Jeff. A little bit of cash. Like I said, about 2 years or so. All right. So anyway, so now I said, well, he and I talking together. It wasn't just me. But we said, what happens if we start doing some Roth conversions? All right. So what we can do here, check this out. All right. So we're going to do Roth conversions down here. And we're doing the 12% tax bracket. I hope you all can see this. I know it's going to make that a little bit bigger, maybe. I'm already at 200%. I guess I can't. Let me, I guess it doesn't. Does it let me go to 225? Nope. So I can max. I can go to 24. Does this let me do anything? Nope, that didn't do anything either. All right, so that's the biggest I can go here. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to start doing Roth conversions to the top of the 12% tax bracket. So essentially, what we're doing is we're converting $80,000 a year. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. All right, so we're converting $80,000 a year right here, while he's still working. Because he's got that $40,000 of part-time income plus $80,000 of Roth conversions. That puts him at basically the top of the 12% tax bracket. All right, but he still needs money to live on, right? He still needs money to live on, so he can't just do Roth conversions to the top of the 12% tax bracket. He still needs money to live on. So what you're going to see here is he's actually pulling from his brokerage account, again, LIFO, last in, first out, or highest cost basis. You want to say hi to everybody? Come on up. Come on here, everybody. Come on. Say hi. Oh, there he is. Give his antibodies. It's thin again. Dogs are the best. I can't do. You make me feel like dancing. I love him. So handsome. Where's your brother? All right. So what's happening here? So check this out. There's brother. Come here, Pops. Let's say hi to everybody else. Oh, say hi to Poppies. Here's Stone Pablo. Love you too, baby. You make me feel like dancing the night away. Left hook, left jab. All right. So we're converting 80,000 while he's still working, but he's pulling from his brokerage account. This is why it's so important to have a brokerage account, guys. I tell you, the brokerage account makes you so flexible. So he's pulling from his brokerage account 120. That's what he's living off, 120. All tax-free, because most of it, if not all of it, will be his highest cost basis, essentially his specific identification. He's basically saying, I'm going to identify specific stocks to sell where I don't get hammered with capital gains, because in the interim, I'm converting enough to put me in the top of the 12% tax bracket. So he's pulling out 120 a year plus $80,000 of conversions. All right, that's what's happening. So you can see withdrawal from tax deferred account. That's a conversion. Withdrawal from taxable account right there. All right. So what's happening is you can see his tax deferred account balance goes to zero after basically 10 years. So when he stops working, again, the top of the 12% tax bracket is 130. Now remember, your taxable income Because he thought, it's like, well, I thought the top of the 12% tax bracket is 94. I said, no. I said, are you looking at the Tax Foundation website? He goes, yes. I said, scroll down a little bit. You see what the standard deductions are. Add that to the taxable income. The top of the 12% tax bracket is your AGI. And right here is adjusted gross income 130. So here he's converting to the top of the 12% tax bracket, but he's living off his brokerage account. Basically taking his gain, not taking much gains. At some point, he will have to take some gains. That's just a fact, because at some point, that $600,000 will be gone, and he'll have to be all zero capital, all zero cost basis. He'll have to take some gains. All right, so I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So after year 10, he's got nothing. Basically, his brokerage account is right. Does it show? Yeah, his brokerage account there is $2 million. That's what it was. His brokerage account is worth $900,000. So he's taken equivalent of $1 million off their brokerage account when you factor in a 5.8% growth. Now, who knows if he'll get the 5.8%? I don't know. But what else are you going to do? We don't know. But then his tax deferred account zeroed out. Watch what happens to the taxes he ends up paying. So instead of paying 84, 46, 600,000, he's paying right here. He's paying 43, 51, 54, whatnot. But then once the brokerage account, once the IRA is exhausted, and now he's just living off his long-term capital gains, he's hardly paying anything, because now he's just living off long-term capital gains. Look at that, 64, 66, so living off long-term capital gains. Total outflow is $184,000, all long-term capital gains. And obviously some Roth IRAs too. He'd have to tap into his Roth at some point as well, because his brokerage account could be exhausted. All long-term capital gains, hardly any taxes whatsoever. Now we go forward when he's 78 and she's 80, or vice versa. I guess, yeah, he's 78. I forgot. Yeah, he's 78. No taxes at all. $250,000 of income, no tax, because they're living off their brokerage account. All long-term capital gains. And they could take off money from the Roth as well if they want. All tax-free. All tax-free. So we scroll down here, and this is what it looks like. Instead of this scenario, no tax and hammer time, they pay all the tax right here. About an 18% effective tax rate when you factor in the state, but it's only 18% for the next 10 years. And then it's basically zero. Nothing. Big fat goose egg. You know how much they're going to save in taxes? $700,000. $700,000 in taxes. Because they're basically saying we'll pay, $45,000 a year for the next 10 years. That's $450,000, as opposed to pay, I don't know, $10,000 a year for the next 10 years, and then just get hammered at 70, 80, 90,000 thereafter. And yet, check this out. Now they are losing the Obamacare subsidies, I grant you. That sucks. But watch, in terms of their probability of success and how much money they leave, it's the same. So here's where they're doing the Roth conversions, 84% versus 85%. This is just if we stayed all in stock. So what I was trying to show them, I said, look, if you eliminate some of the downside risk, these would be like 96 and 97. So because we're all in stocks, we have a massive downside risk. This 85 is a sweet spot. That's fine. But I said, if you want to, you go down to a balanced portfolio, basically downshift from fifth gear to third gear, and this will jump up from 84 to 96. Now you'll leave less money, but he doesn't care. He doesn't have any kids, no kids, so he doesn't care. So the same probability of success, basically. Now it looks like he's leaving a little bit less here than here. This is without the Roth conversions. This is with the Roth conversions. But remember how much is being left. This is all tax-free. This is tax deferred. You see what I'm saying? So not only is he leaving about the same amount of money, but the same amount of money that he's leaving essentially in this case to his wife when he dies is all tax-free. Even though there'd be less in the overall estate at their death, the facts are this money right here is all, a lot of that subject to income tax to somebody, being the wife upon his demise. That's all tax-free. All right, so let's see what else here. I want to show you one other thing here. So here's what we're doing. Yeah, so here's ordinary income tax bracket. They're not paying hardly any taxes. They're not even at the top of the 10% bracket. And we fiddled around a little bit with doing Roth conversions to the top of the 10% bracket and retaining the Obamacare premium credits. It didn't do enough. His wife, Jenny, would still get hammered later on. It just wasn't a good enough scenario. That's like, I don't think, it worked okay, but not nearly to the extent of doing this right here, filling up these 12% tax brackets. And then what's going to happen is there's no tax. I mean, you can't see it here, but that blue goes away. You can just barely see that purple, light purple right there. So basically, filling up for the next 10 years, paying the tax man is all gone at the end of the day. After when he's 64 years old, no IRMA's the word. But by the way, this doesn't include IRMA payments he's gonna have to pay and all that. No IRMA's, nothing. Crazy. So again, the three scenarios were, and he told me I could use this data. He obviously don't know what it is. But the three scenarios were no Roth conversions, live off the 12% capital gains. So it's all tax free. You'll lose the Obamacare premium credits doing that. Live off the return of principal, live off your basis in your brokerage account, and keep your Obamacare premium credits. That's scenario 2. Scenario 3 is lose the Obamacare premium credits, do Roth conversions to the top of the 12% tax bracket, and live off the high basis portfolio to brokerage account. And that by far and away is a winning strategy without question, because he's going to say, okay, I'm not leaving my wife with getting hammered. I am going to pay a little bit more tax on the front end, but then after 10 years, it's all gone. My tax savings is $700,000 less in taxes than if I did no Roth conversions. Recognizing I lose $120,000 from not having Obamacare premiums. I'm not even sure that would stay, but either be it as it may. So he's going to make, and then on top of that, I'm leaving the same amount of money at my death. Got all right. See, Eric. Did Eric ever says? But that I guess got to be Swedish, right? Yeah. So those Swedish people, aren't they all tall and gorgeous? Freaking Swedes. Yeah, right here, Jeff. My Roth conversion saved me $275 in tax. I have 400. Yeah, if I make it that long. Yeah, right on, right there. We are living off the basis and keeping the credits. It just makes sense for us given our health. 100%. Absolutely. If he's playing on charitable giving, you should keep some of the tax free because you get, 100%. We could. 100% if that's a big issue. Denise. Man, Denise, you scared the hell out of me for a second there. It's like, whoa, did I put his phone number on there? Ooh, that scared me. I was like, because I got to be very careful when I'm using people's data. I don't want to, friggin'. So I'm like, I was looking. So I always make sure there's no names. So, I got to keep it anonymous. I was like, whoa, did I miss it? Because I don't even have the guy's phone number. I was like, wow, did I mess? That scared me. I got it. I got your number on the wall. I got it. Where's Kim? For a good time call. Because Kim always likes when I sing. Kim hasn't been around lately. I'll be a bus driver for health insurance if I have to. If I prioritize Roth conversions and no, if I prioritize Roth conversions for maybe 55, 75, and no Obamacare subsidies. Yeah, what I'm saying. They won't get hit with IRMA. They will get hit with that 1 year. That 1 year they will. Good point there, Ron. They'll get hit with IRMA. Right. Oh wait, 1 second. Right there. Is that the Roth conversion one? Wait, let me make sure I'm looking at the right screen here. Right there. What was that one? I don't want that. I want that one. No, because they only have $184,000 of income. So IRMA right now, I think it's the first tranche is like 210 or something like that, and even then it's only like $12. It's the right now the you want to avoid 250 for that fourth tranche if memory serves. We looked this up earlier. I just can't remember. I think it's 250 is the fourth tranche where they really get you. No, it wasn't 250. I forgot. And with the first tranche is once you break 210 or 220, you get hit. In this case, he doesn't break at 65. He doesn't. No, he's still at 184 because he'll be converted. He's gonna be fine. Good point. Yep, he's fine. That's crazy. Yeah, he'll be all done conversion at 64. Now I know they recognize it back to when he's 63, but even at 63, he's only got 227. So remember, IRMA does adjust for inflation, unlike the net investment income tax, and that is something that he will have a little bit of net investment income tax. We're talking a couple $100, $1,000 on occasion, not much. Anyway, that's fantastic. Is lots of subsidies. Did I hear that just converting a 12% tax bracket? Did I hear that the Fed said they're going to cut by 75 basis points? I saw that someplace, but I haven't been able to verify it, so I don't know if it's just the media being silly. But I thought I saw that. Work part time. Well, he is kind of working a part time job, but it's not for health insurance. But no, it's a good point. Work part time job for health insurance and do Roth conversions, or drive bus, like one guy said in here. Yeah, that's you. You said I drive a bus. Absolutely. You have Schwab, decide not to convert more than. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. The 12%, I think, is a do a brainer. But for you, yeah, because you're single, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. Can do Roth conversions real time, no paperwork fill, waiting to. Yeah, Schwab is pretty quick too, man. Schwab is pretty quick too, Jeff. I'm retired at 56, and every year I pull pre-tax through up. Yeah, 100%. Whether I need to spend or not, absolutely. That's hard not to crush in that regard. Vanguard brokerage account is low cost and user friendly, putting aside wokeism. Dog's having a loogie back there. Yeah, he was. Yeah, freaking Pablo. Leo Sayer. Who's that? Who's Leo Sayer? I don't know who that is. Who's Leo Sayer? There's an there's an economist who wants to say, all right, yeah. Economists want everything. Yeah, that's why I said when I saw that, I was like, no way. That's exactly what I said. No way they're cutting that much. Absolutely not. Um, Mortgage rate drops, I think 2 years low, right? Yeah, because the 10-year, the 30-year treasury has kind of come back a little bit, but it's still below 4.25, I think. Let's see what the 30-year is. Oh, that's Leo. That's the guy who sings that song. Leo Sayer, man. I thought it was a chick. Um, 30-year is at 4.22. So 30 is still at 4.22, less than 4.25, and the interest rates on mortgages have dropped for sure. I make it feel like dancing. I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I agree with that. He's Leona Soy now. Now, for real, is he Leo's Leona? Oh God, another one. Why? Um, it's downright frightening that you can Google someone's name and obtain phone numbers and address, a political party, any public. Yeah, 100%. That's what I would say. If they want you bad enough, they'll get you. If they want docs, they can get. I mean, like you can find me. It's easy. And we can see. I was like, people are like, you will guard your address. I said, dude, the nice thing about having a pretty uncommon last name is that I'm found pretty easily by people who I want to find me. The problem is I'm found pretty easily by people who wish me harm, if that makes sense. I don't really. I mean, I had one guy on YouTube I was worried about during the plan, demic. And that guy he had posted a couple things because like I hope I don't see it at your house, and I was like, well, what's that supposed to mean? Because he was like in Georgia. I hope you don't. I don't hope I don't see a house and you're hurt or something like that. I can't remember what he said. This is during the 2020 thing because I wasn't taking the whole thing seriously like he wanted me to because we lived in Georgia. We're going to kill everybody. Remember they said that about Brian Kemp. Georgia's going to experiment on mass depopulation. They're calling Brian Kemp the James Jones or whatever, Jim Jones of Georgia. The whole thing was so stupid. The media was. He goes, I hope I don't see you at your house dead or something like that. I was like, sounds kind of threatening a little bit. And I didn't report him or anything, but I took a screenshot just saying this guy because I forgot his name. He has been around for many, many years. But I said that's a little bit weird that you're getting all. He used to be kind of angry. I didn't want to ban him because I want to see if he. I said, "Are you threatening me?" I said, "I'm taking a screenshot of these things, there, guy." He goes, "I'm not threatening. I'm just saying to you." But I said, "Okay, I'm just taking a screenshot, and I text a couple people just in case something happens to me. They know who to go look for." You know what I'm saying? Because you're talking a lot, and I think he left to go to more happier climates with other people who are like, "Yeah, we're all gonna die. Trump's killing us all. I'm not taking the Trump vaccine." And then the minute Biden gets in there, I'm taking the Trump vaccine and you should not. I'm taking the vaccine and you should too if you care for a grandma. I said, wait, just 2 weeks ago, you're saying you weren't going to take the Trump vaccine. Now you're going to take it. My man Jay's done at 63, 2 years of ACA, then spending the IRA for, yeah, 100%, dude. That's, oh boy. All right. That's all I got, man. Fidelity charges you hold at Roth. Denise, good night. Denise, see you. I'm thinking I'm gonna get out of here too. Yeah, I love when internet strangers threaten me. They have no clue. I don't get like I don't understand like I 100%. I don't do the face diver is so freaking stupid. You have some cash, Ron. I mean, if you're recession in of itself, remember recession just means 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. That's it. So don't conflate a recession for negative market returns. It's not. It's not. I mean, there's some validity to that, but just because it's a recession doesn't mean the market. Really, what you're talking about is a bear market, retiring into a bear market. Forget the recession. It's really retiring into a bear market that's a bigger concern because that happens a lot more than recessions do. So yeah, you got some cash, stack some cash. This guy, my client deal with Jenny and Johnny, he didn't want to. He said, I think I got enough for a couple years. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. And I can take a 50% decline, and that has never happened. And that's the worst case scenario. And by the time I'm 60, 70, when I'm 70 years old, I got so much money I can rely on to live until I'm Social Security. Once I'm on Social Security, we're fine. And that's what I tell all my clients to. I always say, just remember at the end of the day, the worst case scenario, you run out of money, the markets do badly. Kamala, she freaking heals up Harris, does what she does with your money. You still got Social Security and no debt. The worst case scenario. I said, come on, man. If that's the, and a lot of the people I deal with, they came from not much. I said, if you just look at your, like who was saying it here, they came from a single wide trailer as first house. I said, look, we're not going to have to go back to that because you already have your houses paid for. But if the worst case scenario is you get, $4,000 a month in social and you got no debt, $1,000 of that, if you're married, goes to your Medicare, but still got 3,000 of, and then you can do a reverse mortgage if you want. If that's the worst case scenario, that's not so shabby. Yeah, I don't understand the internet people got to be like, I posted something the other day about I got banned from this guy. It's funny because he never banned me on my politics until I told him, I said, man, you better be careful. You're getting awful close to racism. Because he's like, look how the human development in the South is so bad. Look at these numbers. They're worse than Estonia. I was like, what's the one thing the South has that most other states don't have? What's the one thing? What's the population of the South that's pretty heavy in one group of people that most other states don't have? Said, you better be careful. You're bordering on very racism there. And I said, your Charles Murray is coming through because the liberals hate Charles Murray because he talks about genetics, not genetics, your IQ passed down because of your ethnicity and whatnot. I said, your Charles Murray is coming through because liberals, literally, they know they're racist, and deep inside, a liberal is probably the most racist person you're gonna find. They know it. And I said, so I did a screenshot of that post and I posted it on there, my own Twitter thing, X. And I said, liberals can't hide their Charles Murray. And anyway, so he banned me from that. I just thought it was funny. I said, oh, all the other stuff you didn't ban me on, but this one, because they hate being called out. They hate it. It's so fun. Anytime a liberal says Jesus doesn't exist, I always say, oh, so you're saying the Quran is wrong? I always say that because you don't want to offend a Muslim. And my goodness, Islamophobia. And then anytime a liberal say anything bad about the South, say, why? It sounds like you're bordering on racism there. Why? What's going on here, man? I know I get it if you live in Boston, not many certain groups of people, but you might need to get out more, especially when they're using terms like human development index. So the guy banned me. But anyway, so I said, before I got banned, I said, I'm pretty far right. This is a different post. I said, I'm pretty far right. And because some guy was saying, as a Green Party member, we got to take over Congress. And the guy's post, he goes, we're never going to take over Congress. You got to start from the bottom up. And I said, I'm a pretty far right guy, and I agree. You got to start from the bottom up. For a Christian nationalist, we need to start from the lowest point. Your local, your mayor, go up from there to your county and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And some guy, he had a muscle. He was like showing his muscles. And he says, F you, you Nazi scum. And some other guy said, yeah, whatever the guy's name is, go get him, beat him up. And I was like, it's like, what are we in, like fourth grade? It's like, jeez, man. It's like, this is insane. Oh, man. Dude, and Shapiro was much better than choice. Like, I know there's a little bit of a honeymoon for Kamala right now. And, the polls are 50-46 for 3 straight states. Jill, do you see that? 3 straight states, all 50-46 for Kamala. I say, there's not one 51-47. There's not one, 49, 46. They're all 50 to 46 for Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan. So yeah, something's off about that. Anyway, so there's a honeymoon right now for Kamala. I get it. I find it weird because just literally 10 days ago, Biden was the Mac of all daddies. And all of a sudden, no, Biden's bad. But tampon Tim, exactly, 100%. But I mean, the honeymoon's going to wear off. It always does. And don't forget, I don't want to say the polls are fake. I don't think they're fake. I just think there's a honeymoon, and it depends on the demographics and whatnot. But I do think Kamala has gained some traction, without question, because it's the media's playing her up like crazy. And that's okay. That's what Trump's got to deal with. Is the media's playing her up. And I get that. And anytime there's a honeymoon, there's going to be this kind of. It's almost like a convention speech. Remember, Dukakis was up by 17 after the Democratic convention in 1988. There's no way she's up 50 to 46 in each of those states. That just seems more than a 100%. Wait till she starts talking. 100%. Absolutely. Anyway, I'm not. But with that said, I mean, Dukakis was up 17 against Bush. Hillary was up and all that stuff. But there is a bump anytime there's a new entrance in the stuff. People are like, oh yeah, I'm excited about her. But my thing is with Kamala is she's just dumb as rocks, and when she talks in a debate or something like that, people are either going to see her or they won't. Sadly, I think there's a lot of angry single women that are like, for some reason, they really take into Kamala. It's very, very odd to me. Very odd. Oh, that's what I was going to say. There was another poll that had her up 52 to 46 or something like that. I said, so you're telling me, I mean, think how idiotic these are. You're telling me that when Sniffy Joe had Kamala as vice president, Sniffy Joe was, let's just say is 46, 44 for Trump. The minute Kamala became the nominee, she not only jumped Joe because she was vice president, she jumped above the 50 plus 1 to 52. That's a solid majority. No, that's we're getting up to Obama numbers there. No, that's just idiotic, man. But don't say polls are fake. I don't like that. Republicans do that, and I wish they would not. I think the polls are pretty legit in the overall scheme of things. I do, 100%. The idea that, but some polls are so skewed, like this 52-46 one. I was like, no, the country isn't 52-48 Kamala versus Trump. The country is basically 50-50. And so the idea that Kamala, who was the vice president, all of a sudden jumped Joe Biden by 8. I'm like, come on, man, that's just stupid. So when you see a poll, don't just write off as fake. You got to see in the aggregate, and the aggregate does show Kamala had making treadway, and even Rich Barrett says that. I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to stick. It's not like people saying Trump needs to fire his campaign manager, Trump needs a shakeup and all that. I'm like, dude, how many presidential elections did you win there, guy? None. How many did Trump win when no one thought he would? 1. So Trump has won that, 2. I'm not going to say it out loud, but 2 maybe. So the issue is Trump knows how to win. He's done it. You have, not you, but you haven't. The idiots who are saying Trump needs a campaign shakeup and all that. Trump has won. And he won when no one thought he could. And he wasn't like an unknown quantity. Everyone knew what they were getting with Trump, and he still won. And as such, the idea that Trump is like, oh, he's lost his mojo. I've heard some people say he's lost his mojo. I'm like, what? Yeah, come on. They're like, no, he went on Alex Stein. What's the guy's name? The crazy guy, Alex, whatever that guy, Alex Stein. Oh, the guy who got banned everywhere. Alex Jones. He went on Alex Jones, exactly, pulverizer. He went on Alex Jones and no one else would. He's still going on, these places. He's still Trump. Anyway, Karen's for Kamala, 100%. But there's not enough Karens to Alex Jones. Yeah, there's not enough Karens to. I mean, it's one thing if it's suburban moms, because suburban moms can say to their husbands, "Look, dude, you better vote this way or else." You know what I'm saying? But Karen, a single Karen, not gonna sway a man. Anyway, I think it is in for Harris. Frankly, I do. I think that she'll end up winning. Yeah, it's just my nature being from Maine. Ted lives in Maine, so it's just that you can't help it. You always got to say, you prepare for the worst and you pray for the best. Yeah, exactly, at 100%. So all of a sudden out of nowhere, Harris, who was vice president, is jumping Biden by 8, even though when they had matchups, Trump against Harris, Trump against Biden, Harris is always underperforming Biden. That doesn't make any sense. I saw that, dude. I saw Marie. She's paying ours. Yeah, 100%. It's crazy. There are enough Karens counting them. Good point. Good point. Drewski, completely depends. So many. It's a great question. So many things that go involved in that. I just did a whole video on a question along those lines. Actually, just right now is what we just did. So maybe watch that video, see if that's applicable to you. The video being what we just got done doing this. See, I think they still have mass mail-in votes though, in Michigan and Wisconsin and Minnesota and stuff. I think they still do it. Probably Pennsylvania's too. BS, love her too. Boyfriends? Yeah, 100%, Ted. I think she could really implode. I think all she has to do is just not be an idiot, and I don't know if she can. I just don't know if she can. Um, yeah. Okay, remember, she's never got a vote. I mean, that's why I'm not worried. I mean, just they're yeah, black females. Well, Karens. I mean, white females, black females, single women, and a lot more single blacks women than single white women. But 100%. That's not going to pass in the Senate, though. There's no way it's passing the Senate, and no way whoever's else in charge is going to sign it. Anyway, so they just need to do it before the mail-in counts. So I think they are. I think they say September 10th or something like that. That'd be fun to watch. That'd be fun to watch. Yeah, even David Axelrod was questioning some of the pollers. I just hate when people get so wrapped up in the polls. Don't get too cocky when they're in your way, and don't get too negative when they're not your way. Just recognize that these things do ebb and flow. Remember, Reagan was. People forget this. In 1980, Reagan was down in February of 1980, big time, big time. He was also down 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the election. Reagan, right? Reagan was down big time in February. We're talking, I don't know, like 15, 16. And then right before the election, and whatever it was, November 8th, 2 to 3 weeks, he was down like 4 points. So you gotta just hang in there. But I don't like people. Oh, the polls are all fake. Yeah, were you saying that when the polls were when Trump was looking good? So I just don't like that. So I don't like when they say the polls are fake when our guy's losing, but they say the polls are legit when our guy's winning. I think she's gonna. I think she's. I would be, frankly, if they don't do a debate, I'd be surprised. But remember, Biden stayed in his basement the whole damn time, and the media, who controls the Democrats don't control the media. They allowed it. It's crazy. They're definitely push a narrative. I don't even think it's so much the election so much. I think they push a narrative of, do you support LGBT? Do you support Black Lives Matter and stuff like that? Yeah, no, I agree with Jill. I mean, Rasmussen, I don't think Trafalgar, they were off of one, it was 2022. I think they're off pretty big, actually. I think Trafalgar or whatever is off pretty big in 2022. That's what they say, but that didn't happen in 2016. It didn't happen in 2016. No, I didn't say you're saying they're all fake, Jill. I just think at the end of the day, you look at the aggregate. Don't just look at the ones you like. Look at the aggregate. The RCP. I don't look at it. The RCP. I just chuckled and said Harris is up 50 to 46. I said that's that same number for 3 states. 3 states. Okay. Harris never could beat Biden, and yet somehow Harris is jumping over Biden. And the same people who loved Biden, who didn't like Harris, are now suddenly loving Harris. And it just. But be it as it may. Yeah, I don't know. When voting asks for ID and record the ID number, mail-in voting, at least my state. What state are you in, Jeff? Because that's the issue. The issue isn't your state, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll see. Look, I'm from Maine, dude. I don't. I always think my team's going to lose. Oh, you're in Delaware. All right on. But even Delaware doesn't matter. It's Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. That's it. And then Arizona and Georgia to some extent. And then who do I see? Virginia, actually, my man Youngkin, he's cleaning up the ballots there. So he's pulling a DeSantis, which is fantastic. So, yeah, but it's funny you said that. I remember when I lived in Alexander, when I first got out of the Army, I lived in Alexander, Virginia, and I was volunteering for a guy named Kyle McSlero. And I remember taking my sister to work one time, and he was running against this Democrat thug named Jim Moran. I said, let's see how many we're counting McSlero sign bumper stickers versus the Jim Moran ones. This is before I knew that much about politics. That Alexandria is a very left wing city. I didn't know. I said, man, there's like 10 Jim Moran bumper stickers for one McSlero. I said, yeesh. But I didn't realize that Alexandria was left wing. I didn't know that's how it worked. And so McSlero got smoked. And he ran again a couple years later, got smoked again. And it's just this, there's a Virginia 8th, that's a district. I don't know where it is anymore. A very left wing. It's all government workers in Alexandria. So anyway, yeah, 100%. That's exactly right. So yeah, they Pittsburgh and Philly, 100%. They have the volume, the large counts, and exactly they can create the votes out of kind of like gravity. We just create it. We call it dark matter. Well, how do you explain gravity? It's dark matter. Okay. Same like with the votes in Pennsylvania. All right, I can get out of here, my friends. God bless. Appreciate you. Yeah, right here. So we got RCP up. Remember the national one. I mean, well, national is interesting. That doesn't matter. It's the states. It really is. It all is going to come down to. I was reading today that if Harris, what was it? Trump has a 46% chance of winning even if he doesn't win Pennsylvania. Harris has a 0.5% chance winning if she doesn't win Pennsylvania. So Kamala Harris has to win Pennsylvania. If she does not win Pennsylvania, it's over. That's all there is to it. And I forgot who wrote that. It might be Richard Paris. It wasn't him though, but he might have reposted it. So if Trump still has a decent odds to win, even if he doesn't win PA, Harris cannot win if she does not win Pennsylvania. It's literally that simple. And so I thought that was pretty interesting. So, all right. God bless, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. Peace out. Don't let these polls get you down, man. Rocky Balboa probably voted. We'll see you, man.